out to another episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour. This week is another Meet the Cast. This time we sit down with Joe Morales, who plays Lieutenant Carson in the Top Notch Tangler, and a variety of other characters. Before we begin, I want to thank Mad Lab Theater, our host site in Columbus, Ohio. I also want to thank IABD Presents, our parent company. It's All Been Done Presents is an entertainment network based in Columbus, Ohio, with a lot of really cool things. This week, I'd like to recommend that you check out Dirty Story Night, which is competitive erotic fan fiction. Yup, exactly what it sounds like. Filthy stories about characters and people and properties that should be familiar to you, for the most part anyway. So, right now we're in the middle of our monster-themed month, so you're gonna get lots of stories about monsters of a wide variety. It was very competitive. We do this late at night with alcohol, so it's a lot of fun. You should absolutely check that out. Please rate and review us on iTunes. That's the best way you can help out the show. You can also follow us at social media at IABD Presents. Hey, have you wanted an It's All Been Done Radio Hour t-shirt? Well, now you can get one. Jump on over to IABDpresents.com. We have brand new t-shirts for sale. It's through Amazon merch program, which is pretty awesome. You can get all sizes. Great for your family and friends for Christmas. So head on over to IABD Presents. Check out our shop. Now please enjoy Joe Morales' Meet the Cast. Well, welcome out to another Meet the Cast. This week we have Joe Morales with us.
Hello.
You may recognize his voice.
Yeah, because it's very high-pitched and it sounds like a child.
And you play a child.
I do, a lot, I think.
Brentley.
Brentley, yes. I love
Porn Star Detectives. How did you come up with Brentley? That probably is the most similar.
Brentley, I kind of based it off of, I think they're called One-E cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one called Leo and Satan. And it's about a little boy who basically lives with Satan. And Leo is this little boy who's basically scared for his life all the time, but is basically best friends with Satan. And I was like, I really like this voice. I love this cartoon. It's fantastic. So I kind of based it a little bit off of that and then just mixed it in with my own voice.
Wow. Aw, poor Brentley. I hope he doesn't actually meet Satan.
I hope not either. Poor Brentley. He doesn't need that. He's already going through... I don't even know how far we are ahead. I don't want to spoil anything.
This is going to post on November 20th. At that point, we will have done training day. No, we will not have Brentley's return yet.
Okay. Well, that's as long as... I knew we met Brentley, because that was in the first episode.
Yes. Yeah. And obviously, we had always intended to bring him back periodically.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that totally age-inappropriate crush on Amber.
Yeah, that's true.
So, how do you think there's a chance they would ever get together?
Probably. Only if his voice gets really deep and he somehow gets a lot of muscles. Because I'm imagining that Brentley does not have all the muscles.
Oh, no.
Because he's still a child. So I think if he somehow gets really buff and gets a really deep voice, then there might be a shot.
And maybe turns 18?
I forgot about the 18 part. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I don't think
that's probably the legalities of everything, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say she's only, 8-10 years older than you?
Probably,
I think eight-ish. So that's not...
It's not
outside the realm.
No, it's not too weird.
But we're at least 5, 6, 7 years away from being able to do that.
There's still time, and maybe my voice will eventually lower. Who knows?
So let's talk about you instead of jumping into character stuff. We'll come back around the characters.
Okay.
So what got you interested in theater and performing?
Okay, if anything, it had to start back when I was, I would say maybe like 10-ish, or maybe, I don't even know how old I was. So...
A little younger than Brentley?
Probably, yeah. We, in my neighborhood, it was always me, my brother, sister, my cousins, and then my mom would record us doing these skits. And they were always very out there, kind of inappropriate. It was based off of like Jerry Springer, The Maury Show. I'm pretty sure I dressed up as a girl multiple times. And just kind of did dumb things. And it was fun to kind of do those, watch them. That was our childhood, essentially, was that we would, instead of going out and doing illegal things, we would record dumb things instead. And, that's kind of where it all stemmed out from, is just kind of making people laugh, kind of entertaining people in a way. And then from there, I went into middle school and high school and kind of did a lot of theater stuff and did a lot of musicals and realized how much I enjoyed just entertaining people, either making people laugh, making people feel, making people just kind of immerse themselves into something away from what's going on within the world.
So you do musicals, do you sing?
I used to. I'll say I used to. I have not really sang at all much besides in the car and the shower since high school.
And then you... of course, have done some independent films and things too. Right?
I have, yes. That kind of started at the end of college. Right at our very last class, there was a studio production class I did. And we had our final group project, and we were supposed to do a talk show. And we got into it to where somehow I was the guest, and I was an actor, and I was playing a part where it was a Rocky Balboa movie, but I was his son, and instead of a boxer, I wanted to be an ice dancer. I don't know how but we, of course, did the montage. The montage included a shake weight, and it was produced very well, and it just ended up being a lot of fun. And the guy who just made that little whole montage said, hey, I have this script that I've been really wanting to do, and I want to do it over the summer. Do you want to act in it? I said, sure. He said, what kind of part do you want? I said, I don't know. And he said, you can play a bad guy. Cool. Never gotten to play a bad guy before. So got to do that. Got to have a gun, everything. It was a lot of fun. Other than that, afterwards, I always thought, well, you know what? Let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing the whole film thing if I can. And so then I started doing auditions here and there up near Cleveland and got a lot of stuff with extra stuff. I got to be an extra in My Blind Brother, which has Jenny Slate, Nick Kroll, Adam Scott, which was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And then I got involved with Mending Photographic Films, which is where I did Gretchen's Lock. And that was a lot of fun because it's kind of a horror film.
That's available online now. Go check it out.
It is available online now. And I think for a limited time, it has a sale where you can get it on DVD and Blu-ray if you really want to. I don't know if by the time this is released, there'll be any left. I'm not sure. But you
they didn't order a large supply?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. So you can get it online for sure.
Well, when the film came out, a bunch of us in the cast had a little get-together, and we sat and watched it.
Yeah, and that's nerve-wracking to me because I don't like watching myself.
Well, you weren't there.
Yeah,
so
that's what's good. Yeah, but of course, I'm very critical of myself anyway. So I'm like, so I know the parts I noticed where I'm like, oh, did you notice that? Did you guys see this? And I was just, I can't. I critique myself so much, so that way, if anybody else critiques myself, I'm like, it's fine. I've already noticed it. It's good.
Well, we all enjoyed your perperformance, and we're looking forward very much to your next production.
The next one of them.
The Werewolves.
Oh, Werewolves from Outer... Yeah, that just finished shooting.
Werewolves from Outer Space?
That did just finish shooting. I don't know when that'll be finished.
Okay.
But there was... Yeah, that one was with a different production company that's still based up in that same area, which is just cool to have just all these production companies trying to figure themselves out all throughout Ohio, because it's nice to see that Ohio is getting this kind of artsy thing going on besides just going to New York or LA, where any kind of actor goes to try and make it anywhere. You can do it all here, and it's very nice because you save so much money. You don't have to spend all the money of living in New York or LA.
Well, we've had some cast members lately driving to Pittsburgh to be extras in television shows and stuff. I've gone to Pittsburgh for auditions, but I've never gotten to do anything in Pittsburgh. This is the only theater thing I guess I have really done. Although we're not typical theater.
Yeah, I was like, it's not the same as going and seeing a bunch of costumes and everything.
No, it's not. But
and that's what's cool about it, though, is that we get to come dressed as we are, as our own people, but then we get to use our voices, and eventually now it's kind of our facial expressions and everything else, too, to immerse ourselves into the story itself.
Oh, yeah, we want to make sure the live audience gets entertained.
Right.
But, yeah, obviously our much bigger audience is the podcast audience. Right. Where we're available all over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world.
And it's weird. I can be heard in China. And
we do get some downloads from China. France is our second biggest audience outside the US.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
I would not think, and so it's like we are heard in other countries, and it's just really cool.
Slovakia is a big one for us.
I don't know which one I would expect, though, to be so prominent. I wouldn't have expected France. I don't know which one I would have expected.
And Britain's up there too. That's the one I expect.
That's the one. That would make more sense just because I don't know. It sounds more, I mean, it's not American, but it sounds.
Yeah, they speak our language.
Yeah,
we speak their language.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, we didn't do anything.
No, we bastardized their language.
We did.
You auditioned for Rufus Reginald Rochester.
I did.
And you did not get that part.
No,
but
I didn't.
You're getting a part based on that audition.
And that's great. Because I remember you mentioned it, and then it never
And
happened.
then I kept pushing it off and pushing. It never happened. It was just delayed.
Right. And I forgot about it until you've mentioned it so many times now, and then I think there was just this last email. You were like, it's finally happening.
Yes.
I wrote it. It's happening. Just go with it.
Sorry it's been so long.
And that's the only skit I think I haven't been in yet.
This is Joe Morales, and this is my audition for the role of Rufus. I can see I'm not getting through to you, but this really is no joking matter. You are the chosen one, the one person on Earth who can save us from demons and ghosts and Satan and all the other things that go bump in the night. No, you're not listening.
Yeah, let's talk about your involvement with this show. What attracted you to a Top and Done Radio Hour?
I think the radio element and the voiceover, because I hadn't really done anything with voiceover. While I was in college, I worked at the radio station, but I didn't do on-air stuff, which most people would have thought I would have done. I actually did a lot of the programming of the music and everything. And so it was the voiceover aspect, because at that point, as the auditions were coming out, I was actually looking for auditions and looking for stuff to do, because I was just starting to immerse myself in the filming community around Ohio. And it was on the Ohio Film Office, I think I came across.
Yeah, we were posted there.
And I think you posted it on Backstage as well, which is
I posted it everywhere.
Yeah. I didn't realize. Because I saw it multiple times. I was like, you know what? I should submit something. I should think about it. And it was like the very last day, because I had a list of like 5 auditions I was going to submit for. And of course, I wait till the last minute. It's always, I think, when everybody does their best work is when you procrastinate. It's my own thought process, but it doesn't mean it works for everybody. And I decided, like, the last 2 hours before it was due, I think, I was like, you know what, I'm going to take my laptop in my car, and I'm going to do this, because I couldn't do it in my house because I'd be loud.
Sure.
And I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. It's like 10 o'clock at night, because weren't they due at midnight? I think
Probably.
I thought they were, so I was like, it's 10 o'clock at night. I said, I've had these auditions, these voices in my head. Let's go ahead, let me do it, and let's see what happens. And so the character I think from that I wanted the most was Brentley anyway, so I thought this worked out really well.
Yeah, you got that one.
Yeah, so that's what worked out. I think I auditioned for every male character possible.
Probably. And right here we're going to put in some of those audition clips because our listeners seem to really like those.
This is Joe Morales, and this is my audition for Lieutenant Commander M.
I am Lieutenant Commander M. I am from the planet and I'm the science officer.
Captain's Diary, or as Gary would say, the Princess Diaries. September 8th, 2424.
Why, Aunt Stacy, what are you doing here? Well, school gets out at 3. The bus just dropped me off. Of course I do.
You also played the first officer
Yes,
of
I
the
did.
ASS Thrifty.
Which I did not know how to do a voice for that. I think it was the day of, after we did rehearsal, and everybody's still awkward and not knowing
Not knowing who each other were.
Yeah, not knowing who anybody was. There's besides some of you guys who have known each other for years.
But only a couple of us.
And there's all the rest of us who are like, we're just going to sit quietly and we don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was Nick.
That was Nick.
Quick side note, you're hearing noise because we're recording this in the theater before the show, and people are coming in and walking by us and all of that, so I apologize, but with the out-of-towners, this was the best we could do.
Very true, yes.
I'm sorry.
It's okay!
So yeah, you were not familiar with Gary Marshall, the
Not
prolific
at all.
producer.
Of course, I love movies, I love television, I love media, but I'm a hypocrite because there's so many things I haven't seen and so many things that I should see and should have seen by now for someone who loves any of that stuff so much. But no, I had no idea who Gary Marshall was, so it was the day of the show I remember being like, hey, Jimmy, or maybe I called you James at that time. I don't know. I was just like, hey.
Nobody knew what to call me.
Mr. Daly. Let's do that.
The only one that did that was Keith.
Was it?
Mr.
Okay.
Yeah, he called me Mr. I was like, no, Keith.
I heard that and I thought, oh my gosh. But yeah, I was like, so what does he sound like? Who's Gary Marshall? I don't know. And, he's just this prolific television producer that has done so much. And
movies, too.
But then, unfortunately, he passed away
Very
on my
recently.
birthday.
Oh,
on my birthday. So I was like just starting to
that.
get to know it, and then I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
But he left a large body of work behind that you can check out. A lot of it great, a lot of it terrible.
Yeah.
Just pick and choose.
Just anything, though. But
anybody that makes as much stuff as he did in a short amount of time, you're going to have some terrible stuff.
And whether it's great or terrible, it's the fact that all that stuff does take time.
Yes.
So it's more of the appreciation, no matter if you like it or you hate it. There's always the appreciation of, there's people that went there every day, worked long hours, did what they could, and made something.
For a while he had like 4 or 5 television shows on the air at once. And how many people do that? Unless you're a
not
Shonda
many.
Rhimes or a handful of people.
Yeah, not many people at all that I
No.
would think of, because
No.
it's just hard.
Major respect for that man.
Yeah.
He basically did a whole era of sitcoms for us.
Yeah, a whole bunch. And some of the ones that are good or bad, they're probably some of your favorites even, too.
Sure. But do you think that made it easier or harder to play the part not having a clue who he was?
A lot harder.
Really?
Because I think if you have somebody that you want to base something off of, you
Sure.
kind of want to give that person justice, and you want to do it well. And the fact that I didn't know anything, I guess in a way it was fine, because I'm like, I don't know anything, but then people are going to expect a voice that sounds like Gary Marshall, and that voice did not sound like him.
He didn't need to, though.
I'm great. Happy days like New Year's Eve or Valentine's Day. Dear God, I'm the executive officer of a Starsheet.
So you came in, you got together with this weird group of people who you
Yes.
didn't know.
But I don't know. That's what I loved about it, was that I'm like, I don't know anybody. I was like, there's expectations. I was like, but it's just a matter of you come in, you read whatever these things that you wrote, and we bring it to life by coming into these stages all the time. And I think it's been one of the best things I've done, just because it's different every time in a way, and it's that nice little troupe feeling where it is all the kind of the same people, but we always welcome new people. So please come and audition anytime.
Thank you. Yes, plug it.
I love when new people come in, because you get to hear something other than what we're used to, and we're used to ourselves. So I love when new people get to come in. We get to introduce ourselves. We get to see what they're doing and kind of interact with them as well. So please audition anytime you can. I think it's a lot of fun. It's the most fun I've had in a long time.
We try to have 1 or 2 guest stars every month.
And that's what's great.
We've
Yeah,
been
it's
having.
great.
And you actually brought us our very first guest star, I believe. One of our first
One of the
two.
first, I think.
Oh,
yes.
no, he was second.
He
First was Yoey.
Yeah, I
Yoey
was
came
gonna
in
say
as a
Yoey
guest
was first,
star.
But then was it Virgil or was it Dan?
Dan came first.
Okay.
So you brought us
I did bring
this guy who I did not know you knew until you guys showed up for rehearsal.
Yeah, Mr. Kondo and I have gone. We went first week because we're from the same town. We're from Massillon, and we met in 8th grade. And he also got involved with all the plays and stuff, and so we got really close from doing plays, musicals. We were in choir, so we got really close from doing that. And then we kept in touch over the college years because we went to different colleges. And this is his sense of humor. Perfect. We had kind of the same sense of humor, so this is one of the things we just always became friends over. And so after I auditioned and after we did the first show, I said, you need to audition for this. This is you. You need to do this now. So I was really glad that he got to audition, and he's like, hey, I'm in it this month. And I said, yes, good. So it was kind of funny. I thought you had known.
No.
We had known each other for a long period
He
of
didn't
time.
mention anything.
So, yeah, and it was fun because we were like, hey, and you're like, wait, you guys know each other? Hold on. And I was like, yeah, we
Was
went
not
to,
nepotism.
yeah, we went to middle school and high school together.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, Dan has come back a whole bunch of times, and he's
Yes.
part of the group.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
He's got so much talent.
So much, and there's so many voices, so I've always been jealous of all the voices he does. And I'm like, damn it, why can't I do these things?
He's one of those people I look at, and if he had been in the original troupe auditions, I could never pick somebody to be like, you wouldn't have been in, he would have been in instead. But I know he would have been in.
It's just,
he would have been in.
There would have been so many things that he could have done, and
Right.
it's just...
and there are, and that's why we're using him now.
It's so good.
We're not letting him go.
And I was like, it makes me happy that he's down here doing this, because I know that this is his perfect element, essentially. And I actually got him to be involved with Werewolves from Outer Space as well.
He just was telling me that.
He got to be on there one day, and he got to play a drunk hillbilly, essentially.
That'll work.
Which was great, yeah. It was fun.
So Dan was the only one you knew before coming in then?
That was the only person I knew.
Okay.
Nobody else. Because that's when I remember the first day of rehearsal, we went down, and most people were very quiet.
Yes.
And I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm like, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what to do. I don't know who these people are. And then I saw some people interacting. I'm like, okay, maybe they know each other. I was like, but these other people that are quiet, we must not know who anybody is. So this is okay. I'm not the only one.
And now 16 months in, do you still feel awkward?
No, not really. No, because I think it's honestly, even though like the rehearsals, I always loved coming to the rehearsals, so it kind of sucks that I can't even come to the rehearsals. But that was kind of where everyone started to click and to mesh a little bit. Besides doing the shows and feeling more comfortable, but then it's the after parties too.
Yeah,
That
those are
really,
great.
because that's when everybody kind of gets to know more about each other. Besides what we do on stage and besides what we do in rehearsals, that's when everybody kind of gets to learn more about each other and a little bit of like in between the shows as well.
So we're almost a half an hour into this, and we have not even talked about the main character that you play.
Oh yeah, Lieutenant Carson. So initially, and I've mentioned this to other people, and then I honestly did not like the character first because I didn't know what to do with it.
Okay.
That was essentially I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I was like, oh, I don't know, and it ended up
He's
just
such
being,
a fan favorite.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until later. I'm like, oh, everybody likes this, and he's just a very eager, very happy lieutenant who probably, I don't know if he should be on the police force. Like, he should. Like, I think he should because he loves helping people, but he gets overexcited about everything. And that's
young.
It's me, essentially.
Yes,
it is me
it is.
with a little bit of a southern accent. So
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know how I was inspired by that at all. I don't even know what the audition sounds like either.
We'll put it right here.
Oh, geez, yeah. I don't know.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir, the top-notch Tangler, but we have a crazy crisis on our hands that needs addressing right now. Well, the Flim Flam Floozy has finagled Farmer Franklin out his final festive feast.
That was a great audition, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great audition. Yeah. Oh my gosh, but I have no idea what it sounded like. I think it might have been a deeper voice. I don't remember. I feel like anytime I do a character, I feel like eventually somehow it ends up getting to a higher pitch. Every time, probably.
Yeah.
So,
Well, at this point, we've released 5 episodes of Top Notch Hanger on the podcast, plus the Signs of the Sexist special edition.
Oh, okay.
The most recent one that has been on the podcast feed is the Kite Caper, where you get captured by the villain.
oh, that's right. And I was excited the whole time.
Yes.
I was excited. Like, it's no one, if anybody actually got captured, no one would really be excited.
Well, you
But
are.
Lieutenant Carson is excited. I don't know how that makes sense, but you know what? He's excited. That's just who he is.
I think he really wants to be in that world. I think he looks up to
does.
the Top Notch Tangler greatly.
Oh my gosh, because he wants to be a part of that as
Yeah.
much as he possibly can. So that's
Sure.
why when he's like, okay, the Top Notch Tangler's coming, we got to do something. So he just gets very excited about it all, and I don't know. I think that's maybe the childlike
Yes.
just aspect of it. Because what child didn't want to be a part of the superhero world?
Sure.
Shoot, I'm 24 and I would love to be a part of a superhero world, and I am. So that's the best part of acting. You get to be a part of these.
To me, Lieutenant Carson is almost a younger version of Agent Phil Coulson. A little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Because Phil Coulson is a fanboy, as we saw in the Avengers with all the Captain
Yes.
America
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But by the time we meet him in the films, he's a little bit older, and he can handle himself around,
Yeah.
but you know that's under the surface, and he can hang
So-
with the superpowers. The Kite Caper, you actually get involved a little more, which is something I've struggled with Lieutenant Carson, because he's at the beginning and he's at the end, but how do you get him involved in the action?
Yeah.
Because his powers are limited.
Right, yeah, he can't do much. I mean, he works for law enforcement, but he has no superpowers. He can't tangle and untangle any sort of
Sure.
knots. He can't fly. He'd probably love to fly.
Sure.
And he'd love to have the superpowers, but it's just that whole superhero world. He wants to be a part of it, and he's so excited. But I don't know what episode it was where.
I can always cut if you say something we don't want to reveal.
Yeah, I was gonna say where he mentions his girlfriend.
Oh, that's an early one.
I was gonna say, was it
that
an earlier
was
one?
Actually, it was the Cowboy Joe commercial he did.
Was it? Okay. Oh yeah, the Cowboy Joe commercial.
Because Cowboy Joe, we
where-
established, exists in the Top Notch Angler universe.
Yes, but somehow I remember Carson makes some kind of comment
Yeah.
about homosexuals, and I was like, at that point, I was like, I don't know where this character's gonna go. Then I was like, what does he believe? What does he not believe? And luckily, that was like that never got brought up again. I don't think.
No,
either.
I think he loves everybody and is friends with
That's what
everybody
I
and
thought
has no
too.
judgment.
That's what I think too. But I don't know. He brought it up at one point in a
Well,
commercial.
I think he brought it up because they were charging Cowboy Joe with a hate crime.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I wondered. I was like, I don't remember doing it. Hence, as we talk about
Yeah.
how we don't remember what everything we've done, I just remember he brings up something with it. And I was like, I don't remember if it was something he was against. And
No.
I was like, that does. I was.
Carson
I don't know if
doesn't
that
have
makes
a
sense.
hateful bone
I
in
was
his
like,
body.
he's so happy. He's me. He loves everybody. He loves everything.
Now, though, as we talk, I feel like I need to find something that he really hates.
Just to make it.
Because we haven't seen that from him.
Yeah. Oh,
Give
that'd
him
be
another
great.
angle. Give him another
me
side.
something that's angry.
Although, I can tell you the next few Top Notch Tanglers coming up, Carson has a more central role because of what's about to happen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because you've mentioned so many things, and I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen or not.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm always excited to see what's gonna happen.
We got some... Carson's about to go through a larger arc where he will be more front and center for a
jeez.
while.
Oh crap.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Other parts you've played, you played another first officer universe journey.
I did, and died again.
Did you realize when I cast you as the original first officer that it was going to be you were going to be killed in the first episode?
I did not know that at first.
You thought he was a main character?
At first, I knew whenever the auditions went out that I think he was a recurring one, so I was
Sure.
like, I didn't know where he was going to play into it, and
Yeah.
then when we read the script, I'm like, oh, he dies. Cool.
Yes.
I was like, well, I still got Brentley. I was like, I'm not dead yet. And so then at that point, I was like, I didn't know how I was going to go, and then as each episode, the first officer ends up somehow dying.
Yes.
So then I'm like, okay. I was like, I got Chris.
It's okay
I
to
was
say
like,
that at this point because we've released 11 episodes.
That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure everybody knows right now.
Yes.
Not a spoiler. The first officer somehow ends up dying almost all the time.
Right.
And then it was Commander Chris, I remember. And
Yes.
I like that because I wanted to cry.
Sure.
And I think everybody was just kind of excited to make the crying
Yes.
noises. So I was like,
That was a fun one to be in.
That was a fun one. I liked doing that one. And, but I just remember I'm like, okay, I'm going to die in this as well. So
Sure.
I said, I can't be mad. I was like, we know it's going to happen. I'm ready for it. When you're ready for it, you just kind of are prepared. And even when you're not ready for it, you're like, okay, well, it's going to happen no matter what. So.
And then you played a character in the first episode of The Scary Dead? No. Have you been in The Scary Dead?
I've been in The Scary Dead. I think
Who
it was.
did you play? Oh, you played the racist redneck
I
that
did.
with the gun.
Yeah.
Zeke.
Maybe that's where I'm getting. I was racist somewhere.
Yes.
But yeah, the racist redneck Zeke, and he dies, which is fine.
Yeah. No, he needed to.
Yeah, he needed to die. I was like, oh crap, yeah, no, we're at that point. Yeah, no, he dies, and that's great. He deserved it. But yeah, I was like, I've died a lot. I've realized I've played a lot of characters
Well,
that have died.
I mean, we kill a lot of Scary Dead, the
Yeah,
body
that
count's
one-
higher.
that one is
And
expected.
Universe Journey, we killed the first officer all the time.
Every time, yeah.
But we have not killed a main character in a live show yet.
Yet, don't say that. I don't want. Who's gonna?
In a show like this, if
It's-
your main character gets killed off, that
There-
just allows you to come back as other people.
You can be other people. Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah.
gives you more opportunities to be something else other than the main character that you are in that show.
Right. So we're not like firing somebody by killing you off.
No, but
we're
it's-
just opening up your opportunity.
it's just-
what else have you been? I know you.
It's just been random characters, I think.
Sure.
In and out. Because I've been other characters in the Porn Star Detectives as well.
Yes. You were the trainer in the most recent podcast episode that we just released last week. You were the trainer at the academy.
and I got to actually punch the dummy thing that they use.
That
which
was a cool dummy thing.
It was great, but I think that's what they actually use, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because my hand hurt after a while. And I'm like, this is why I don't do anything active and have no upper body strength whatsoever. Because because you were like, hey, you're going to hit this. I
Yeah.
was like, all right, and I don't know how it's going to look. And it probably just looked like I was flailing. Because I'm a flailer, so that probably is what it looked like in the live shows. But yeah, it was fun to get to do because I got to actually hit things, and I was like, I hope I seemed angry.
But that was a last minute thing too that we showed
Yeah.
up at Mad Lab that day and they're like, hey guys, we got something in the back we've been using, bring it out and use it.
Yeah, I'm like,
And we're like,
oh,
okay.
sure, I'll use this.
And it just happened to work really
It
well in
did
the
work.
episode we
And
had.
that's good.
Yeah.
It's good that it worked.
Yeah, it was fate. Mad Lab. Okay, so let's talk about that because that is always curious to me. When I announced we're moving to Mad Lab, I got some serious backlash from some of the cast.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, so you were?
I
Okay.
was. I mean, it's bittersweet because
Yeah.
Pack Rat Comics is.
They're wonderful.
They're so great to
Wonderful.
us, and they're such a great store.
They are.
They have just so many great things. So it was bittersweet to leave, but I think getting to move here just shows that we just have grown.
Yeah.
So much, and it's a fantastic facility as well. Mad Lab's fantastic of everything that they do, and they're open to the kind of off the wall theater things and the off the wall performances. So it's just like this is the perfect venue for it too. But I was excited.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it just kind of proves it. I'm just excited about a lot of things. Yeah, this
Well,
was very exciting to me.
I think the main complaint and the main worry was we were doing it too fast. We'd only done 8 months,
Oh,
and they were
that's-
worried we would lose audience if we moved venues downtown. I mean, we were out in the suburbs in a little
That's
comic
true.
book shop,
Yeah.
and I know we did have some people that used to come to those shows that won't
That
come
don't.
downtown. But I also
makes
feel
sense,
like
though.
we've gotten a lot more new people being
We
downtown.
have, I think so, yeah, and I think it's because
was
we
the right
are
move.
actually in Columbus. I think it was too, but
And we're taken more seriously when we're in a real theater.
yeah, because I think it's now the space. of
Right.
it. It's like, okay, we have the seats. We don't have to set up the chairs.
Sure.
We have this
Lights
the lighting. Yeah, we have the lighting, which is it's new for this show. I mean, not now actually, because
We don't make good use of
For
it
so
yet.
long. No,
we're
but
we're going to use it more. But
no,
yeah.
because we've gotten to use it. I think in the last at least the
We
last
just have
five
used
shows we've
stage
done.
lights.
Yeah.
We haven't like done anything during the show of lights
Right,
coming up and
yeah.
down and all that stuff. The top-notch tangler. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Sam.
Thank
birthday.
you. It's all about you, though, Joe.
Yay! Lieutenant Carson. You are also the first actor in the show that's gotten to play basically two different versions of the same character. Because we met Lieutenant Adam Carson, but then in the Packer and Ratcliffe commercial, we met a different Lieutenant Carson, Officer Carson, with the Hilliard Police.
I forgot about that.
And he had a different first name.
I forgot about that, actually. Completely forgot. I forgot that was a thing. Oh, see, this is what happens. I need to catch up on all of this, too.
Well, we haven't explained exactly how this universe works that we're creating, and that was one of the things I put in as the first hint of what this is.
See.
And
I see things that I didn't even realize. It's like an American Horror Story thing where everything's somehow connected.
Ish.
Yeah, ish. That's what also makes me happy about it, because it's just everything's not kind of. I mean, it kind of is and it kind of isn't connected, but
they're not all set in the same universe.
But things connect here and there, and that it still gives it that nice continuity thing.
Yeah, and I think in the next few months of live shows, you're going to understand a lot better what the structure is. It's okay, Dallas. You're fine.
I like that everybody's walking by and everybody's so quiet.
They're all trying to be so respectful.
I would do.
So who's your least favorite cast member?
Nobody.
I'm just kidding.
Me. I'm my least favorite cast member.
Oh, you shouldn't be.
I am. No, like I said, I'm self-critical of myself, so I always beat myself up. But it makes me tougher, I think, in a way. Even though it also makes just me be on myself more. I know everybody is just so fantastic in this show, all around. It's hard to just say anybody's bad because nobody is. Everybody's great.
Well, and some people came in right away, solid, wonderful. Some people were good right away, but to watch their growth and to watch them get better and better as time goes on.
And we've all grown so much that it's great to get to come down here, and it's just so. Obviously, when we first started, we were all very stiff because we didn't know what to expect. This is something completely new. And now that we've kind of gotten the gist of things and things change here and there, but it's just something we're all willing to just take part in, and it's just great to even be down here every month.
I don't want to question it too solidly, but 16 months in, we haven't lost a troop member yet. That makes me a little nervous.
No,
why are people? I mean, you were at 6 months in going to move to Tennessee,
that's true.
And you were immediately like, "I'm going to move to Tennessee. Don't kick me out of the show.
Yeah,
I still drive up and be in it."
Yeah, because I had found something, I think, in this whole acting world that I was like, I want to stay part of this. I don't want to leave yet.
Sure.
It's too soon. I don't even really want to leave. But I think that with me not moving to Tennessee, I was like, okay, no, it made it more possible because I didn't know. But like Caitlin lives in Delaware.
The state of Delaware, 9 hours.
9 hours. And I remember, I think I've questioned it to her every time, like, how do you do this?
One of our troop members told me last week they're moving to Arizona in a couple of weeks, and they're still going to fly in, not every month, but regularly.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Right?
No.
Right?
Oh, now I'm sad.
Well,
but I mean, I'm
sad, but
no, I'm really glad that they're
willing
staying.
to pay for a plane ticket.
That's true.
God love them.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't want to be mean, but if I moved 9 states away, I would not come back here monthly.
I don't know if I would either, because I mean, I think if I would have moved to Tennessee, I would have tried.
Yeah.
And then I would have been like, maybe this is a little too hard, but I still want to be a part of this, so I want to be able to come back and do this every now and then. But
well, that's why we now have associate player level, which is part-time, but you can keep coming back.
Yeah, nice to get to see that this is here and not in New York and LA, and because I've always...
New York, LA, Columbus. That's what it needs to be.
That's what it needs to be,
That's what it needs to be. You need a middle area.
You need that middle area.
Chicago's nice, but there's too much murder.
Yeah, I've noticed that because I've never been to Chicago, and I've always thought, let me go to Chicago once and see. And then I hear all these things about murder, and it's like, let's change that too. let's not make it so.
Columbus isn't heavy on the murder. Knock on the wood.
Not really. No, there's wood here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's a pretty safe city.
I love Columbus.
And it's thriving and growing. I mean, the theater community in Columbus has already been growing and vibrant.
Yeah.
And the city itself, and I mean, I've lived here all my life, and I can tell you, other than a couple of years, I moved to Kentucky, but the city is not what it was when I was a kid. It's completely different and much nicer, much more.
And I've had people for years saying you need to just move to Columbus.
Yes.
You need to do it because my my oldest, dearest friend lives here because she went to Ohio State, and that's what she's like, you need to just do it.
Yep.
You need to do it. And I was like, I don't know.
We got Dallas.
I know, you finally.
Finally,
Dallas,
he was driving an hour away, but now
Yeah.
he just got an apartment in Columbus.
He did, and that I was like, now we all have to do it.
You do.
We all have to do it.
So I think we're about ready to wrap up, but before we do, we have to ask you a question.
Oh, and I'm already nervous about this just
Why?
because I'm not prepared. I like to have answers prepared.
But it was Katie, so you know it's kind and nice and
Oh, that's
thoughtful.
good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it is
Katie Boys and Alts.
She's so nice, and she's able to play these snarky characters.
Oh, she's great, isn't she?
Yeah.
Her Meet the Cast, as we record this, actually goes up next week. I try to record these ahead because I really don't want you to hear the question. One or two people
know.
have gotten to, but
See,
I try not to.
I was hoping that I would somehow hear the question, but I
Nope.
did not. I don't know.
It hasn't been released yet. No, Katie asks you if you could adapt any work, a film, a book, or whatever, into a movie, what would it be? And you could be in it. What would it be, and what would you play?
One Captain Underpants automatically.
You're playing Captain Underpants in Captain Underpants?
You know what? Yeah, let me be a
Okay.
superhero because I've always wanted to be a superhero anyway.
Of course, Lieutenant Carson.
Exactly. But no, because we just did the banned book thing with the fantastic Samantha Stark. Who just walked by again.
Happy birthday!
Yes.
Again.
Happy birthday.
Great timing.
Yeah, it was perfect timing. We just got to do a thing with the
Oh,
banned
that video
book
was
week.
so cool.
It was so cool.
So cool.
But I feel like I was like, oh great, I say everybody says these incredible quotes, and I say tra la la la.
Thanks, guys. I'm super proud.
And
You should be. It was awesome.
but yeah, I won because that's a book that I grew up on as a kid.
Yeah.
And I loved. So I would actually love to play Captain Underpants or any of the characters in that whole series because that's. And I know they've talked about doing a movie with that, but it'd be great to see it as a movie, or even any of the Wayside Stories from Wayside.
Oh my god, I love those books.
I love those books. I own the first two, I think,
I
and
think they're 4?
there might be 3 or 4. I'm not sure.
3 or 4.
Yeah, and
I think I have them all, but it's been a while since I've read them.
It's been so long since I've read them, and I know when we were read to them in 3rd grade, I know my teacher she would try and like make every chapter one of our classmates' names, and there was
Nice.
one actually named Joe.
Yes.
So it was.
He was the one that couldn't count, right?
Yeah, he was the one who couldn't count.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, I could even do that. I was like, because I don't have to change my name.
Except you're a little old to play that now.
A little old, yeah.
You'd have to go out for Lewis.
Or if they do a cartoon, I could do it because
There you
I
go.
obviously play childlike characters.
There
so
you
that
go.
works.
So you have to ask a question, and the next person up is Mr. Chase McCants.
I have to ask something about music.
Sure.
Because I want him to sing to me personally because his voice is
All the time.
fantastic. All the
right?
time, yeah.
All the time. He could sing you to sleep every night.
So I'm going to can he sing, there's a song that I wanted him to sing.
Uh-huh.
And I can't, the Fantastic Negrito I think is what they're called, and I want him to sing Lost in the Crowd. He needs to sing that to me, and he needs to sing that on this podcast. Can he please sing that for me?
Okay, so instead of a question, we're going to make him sing
Yeah.
Lost Negrito.
Fantastic Negrito, Lost in the Crowd, or just
Oh,
anything.
Fantastic
Yeah,
Negrito,
if he
Lost.
doesn't know that, please just sing. Just sing. Sing on the podcast. Because you already sing the theme song to
Porn Star
Porn Star
Detectives.
and it's fantastic. I love it takes me away.
Well, when he and his band came and played the anniversary show
Oh my
and
gosh.
covered all our theme songs.
It makes you want to be a groupie
Yeah.
essentially because
I love their
they're
band.
so
Their
great.
album is so good.
And then like they do a cover of one of the songs for 30 Seconds to Mars, and I love 30 Seconds to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Kings and Queens, I think, is what they do the cover of, and it's fantastic. So I just want him to sing. Can you
So Long
please just sing?
Stargazer, check it out.
Please, I need to buy their album anyway. So, but
Look Up?
Yeah, I looked them up. I was like,
No,
I'm
it's
gonna-
called Look Up.
Oh, Look Up. Oh, okay. Oh, well, there we go. Now I sound like an idiot. It's called Look Up. Yeah. So
You can like their music and not know all the names of everything they
Yeah,
do.
that's true. I want to buy the physical copy of the album.
Oh, I have it. It's great.
Yeah,
I listened to
I-
it 3 times this week.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
I know I would listen to it every time on my way down here. I guarantee.
It's really good. Okay, well, thank you very much for talking to us.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
very glad you're part of the show.
I'm glad I'm
Please
a part
don't
of this as
quit.
well. I don't want to quit. Don't fire me.
You're not in any danger of that.
Good. Okay. That's good.
So, okay, well, we'll be back next week with an episode of The Scary Dead, and the next Meet the Cast will be the first of the year with Mr. Chase McCants.
Sounds good.
This has been It's All Been Done Radio Hour number 47. Meet the Cast number 8, Joe Morales. Big thanks to Joe for sitting down with me today. Please rate and review us on iTunes. Check out itsallbeendoneradiohour.com. We hope to see you at our next live show, which is December 10th. It's a special holiday show featuring characters from all 6 of our main programs. And if you've never seen our show before, it's the perfect one to come in on because it's all going to be self-contained individual stories for the most part, other than a really cool opening that we're excited to have you see. Have a great week.
Yes, I'm sure you can. I need a very specific item that I believe you have in stock. I can find it by myself. Let's see. Oh, right there it is. That round green thing on the shelf there. How much? I know exactly what it is, and I do want it. How much? Listen here, young lady, I am a very powerful witch. You do not want to cross me. You will give me the head of that demon creature at once, or you will regret it.